Hey everybody, this is Maxine Taylor, America's first licensed astrologer, with another edition of Practical Astrology, and we're talking about parental programming and how it runs your life and how you can read it in your birth chart, which is so exciting, so liberating. Today, we are going to be talking about the planet Saturn. And a lot of people are really afraid of Saturn, probably because in old-timey astrology books, Saturn is the planet of fear and restriction. Old-timey astrologers tended to be rather negative. Traditionally, as we look at our programming in the birth chart, Saturn rules the older should and ought to authority figures in our lives, like grandparents. It rules our ancestry, our lineage, our our relatives who are no longer with us and have passed down the legacy of the tribe from generation to generation. And I have found that taking full and complete responsibility for your life is the most liberating thing you can do for yourself. And you say, well, how do you do it? Well, let's just go around the zodiac and talk about Saturn. Now, Saturn has a 30-year cycle, so it moves through all of the signs within a 30-year period. It's an equal opportunity planet to grow and move into your highest and best. But, that's a big but, our ancient relatives, and this goes back generations, say, no, you got to do this, you should do this, you have to do this, you ought to do this. We see this exemplified in our lineage. We see it amplified in our religions that are based on old-time religion. Okay? We see this in government. Saturn represents the government. It also represents real estate. So let me walk you through the houses. I'm not even going to worry about the signs because the house placement is so important. If you have Saturn in your first house, Saturn rules the generations. In the first house, it represents you. Your should and ought to authority figures are saying to you, through my interpretation, you should respond to your ability as a leader for yourself. Saturn in the first house often means that you are an old head on young shoulders and you are given the responsibility, the obligation of being the leader of the pack. And that holds you down and back because you don't understand that your responsibility is to take charge of your life as the leader. Quite different, don't you think? And it means you do have an old head on young shoulders, but you don't have to follow the ancient traditions. You can create your own traditions. It's important that you be the leader of your own destiny. Respond to your abilities as your own personal leader. Saturn in the second house, old-time astrology, fear of not having enough money. Good grief. Saturn in the second house traditionally means you should get the money, but you should work hard for it because you may not have it. That's fear. My definition: respond to your ability as a financial leader of your own money. And remember, it is the authority figures from your ancestry that are limiting you financially, telling you you should earn your money through real estate or government or all Saturn-related occupations. Respond to your talents and abilities that allow you to constructively, Saturn, create financial security, maybe even abundance. Saturn in the third house. This is another old head on young shoulders. You were given early responsibility. You didn't ask for it. Well, you did actually, because it's in your chart, in your natal chart. However, I say respond to your ability as a leader who teaches, who shares ideas, your own ideas. Because what you're told to do is take the ideas of your ancestors and share them. Whoa, that's heavy duty. And to maybe fear your own ability to express yourself because you're supposed to express them. Respond to your ability as an intelligent, articulate leader. And the thing is, the third house represents your siblings. And there may be a sibling who acts like, or is the reincarnation of, one of those ancient relatives that reminds you of what you should do and ought to do and have to do. Saturn in the fourth house. Respond to your ability as a leader in the family. There is the nurturing parent, however, is the, life is tough. And they tell you why you can't do it, because they're in charge. They're in control. If you will respond to your talents and abilities to be the leader within the family, you will not have fear. You will not be restricted because you're using your God-given gifts and talents. And that is the definition of Saturn. We will do houses 5, 6, 7, and 8 next time.